Greetings, gamers, and welcome to the 241st live stream from the Misfit Gamer Studios. I am your host, Vortex, and this is D&D Discussions. Now, on today's episode, we were going to do a review. We still can. However, I am alone today. Kage is out of town. Boyd's just not having fun with me today. So while he's out of town, I also don't see the author online or in Discord, and I try to ping them to see if they wanted to pass it off to the next week since Kage's not here. And I figured maybe if we passed on to the next week, he can get both of our commentary and it may be better. I don't know, but pretty much with only Soul, I see you. With only you here, I don't really know if it's worth doing a solo review, just us two. It's an unknown user. Can you double check and make sure? Because I pinged Pokeniner twice. But I swear on my side it's fine. Yeah, I see Pokeniner on both of the things. So I don't know. Yeah, I was kind of hyped for this. I was gonna run this one solo. I was even gonna get TikTok up and running, but I don't know. Oh, now it shows Pokeniner. Well, hopefully they got the ping. I try to give them like 2 hours and then a few minutes on each of them. We'll give them a few minutes as we normally do, and if they don't come back, we can change it up. I have nothing else planned. Usually when I'm solo, it's probably easier to do like an AMA, but it's only you, so unless you have any high point questions, I am at a loss. But hey, maybe Pokeniner will show up and we'll do the review. I guess I'll wait to go live on TikTok. It's oddly enough, I'm blue on TikTok anyway. I don't know why, but I will go live and I'll just be blue on TikTok if I go live. So what's up, Soul? It's just you and me right now. Yeah, I've been doing a crap ton around the house this weekend, so I'm just exhausted and I have so much more to do. Vixie's out of town, Kage's out of town. I'm basically running the entire show solo. I'll be honest, I'd much rather be doing the artwork and getting everything fixed up, but we are here. Ooh, sneak peeks for upcoming High Point. I mean, I have tons. What do you want to know? Like, what specifically would you like to know? Because the only downside with sneak peeks is like, sneak peeks to what? Like, do you just like specifically to like Vixie and Kage's campaign, or just what's like it's kind of hard because you guys aren't really involved in it, so I'm not really sure what sneak peeks I could give you. I mean, I could tell you what's happening in the background of Vixie's current campaign because she just had a major. She just kind of basically dodged a bullet and was able to negotiate her way out of a major combat, and then the fallout from that is going to be a lot more than she's used to. What's going on, Cart? Nice to see you. Well, Kage's is easy. He's been, I mean, just his schedule's been kind of crappy the last 2 years. So he's basically been stuck in a conversation that he's not really. I haven't really forced him into the conversation to stay here, but it's one of those conversations. It's like a once in a lifetime kind of conversation for his character, and every time we tried to play it, we didn't have the time and he didn't have the focus. So it was kind of one of those. It just kept getting put off and put off and put off, and now it's at the point where it's like, okay, we gotta like move you on, but it's unfortunate that I don't want to move him on out of forcing him to go through the story. It's just one day we can't just keep him here because he's not interested or he's not capable of having that finished conversation. So that's kind of where he's at. But once he leaves, it's going to be interesting to say the least what's going to happen to him, since his character kind of hops around through time and space a lot. I'm gonna have to figure out where the best location for him to be is next. But with the way everything else is going right now, it seems like he's going to be able to go back to his original the original portion of his campaign, because his original campaign started out with him following his dad's journal to figure out the path that his dad took so many years ago, and then his journal was sent to him. So he wants to go figure out what happened to his dad, so he's been following that, and his entire journey essentially started with like the major part of his journey started when he had found one of the first locations that his dad had gone to for essentially a spirit walk. And that's what kind of started his entire process in time and space travel. So his first spirit walk, or what he thought was a spirit walk, essentially sent him to join one of my other campaigns for a while. Then he jumped again into a few different locations. It was his own spirit walk, but it wasn't like the kind you think of as like a dream. It's an actual, like, you kind of, essentially the spirit walk is a ritual that he went through where you are essentially stripped of not your free will, but you're kind of stripped of any defenses you have against the flow of destiny. And it's almost like you were forced into the flow of destiny like a river. So it just kind of, think of it more like a TARDIS, if you will. It may not take you where you want to go, but it will take you everywhere you need to go. And that's kind of the process he's been on this whole time. And I think what's going to happen next is he is going to finally now finish his spirit walk, because he also started the spirit walk at level 3 and he is now level 10. So I think it's about time that he eventually finishes his spirit walk and then gets to continue his original journey, knowing what he knows now, but also not knowing when he is or when those things happen to him, or in the world that he's in. So I think that's where he'll go next. It makes the most sense. As for Vixie, okay, so Vixie's main character, she finally had her. Well, she eventually got down to her what was supposed to be her big showdown with the Necromancer, the big Necromancer general, and she ended up getting an opportunity in the way that she does to negotiate her way out. Now, for me, I was expecting either a full-on battle and a war to kick off, or for her to actually give in and give him the key to the vault that he wants, which is essentially his whole purpose and why he's doing all this stuff. So he, was going after her for the key, and she was either going to be able to give it up to him based on his story and whether or not she actually believed him. He has a very compelling story, by the way. He's actually one of my favorite BBEGs I've ever created. He's one of those that not necessarily that you want to side with, but the fact that he's been hunting her for like 5 years in game, and she's basically like one of his biggest obstacles. His whole purpose for what he's trying to do isn't necessarily from the aspect of evil. It's more of the ends justify the means mentality, and his desire to undo the bad he's done is there once he's able to achieve his goal. So his whole thing was trying to convince her to side with him and let him achieve his goal so he could basically undo all of the bad that happened and prevent more bad from happening in the future. And she didn't like either of these options. She was actually expecting to go along with the full-on fight. Like, it was supposed to be a full-on. He has like over 10,000 troops. They have, he has like probably like 30,000 troops. They have about 50, 60. But he can also res as they go down. So there was going to be a whole thing. But she found a loophole and found some details to exploit, and was able to rationalize why starting this fight right here, right now, wasn't his best bet. And he agreed. Couple dice rolls later, and the math worked out in his head that it was better for him to take option B first than try to use this as option A. Because in his mind, he's arrogant enough to think that, he can always come back. So she negotiated out of the war, sent him on a false trail somewhere else. And that's where it was going to end. But then she got some information. I think we have two, actually. Change places is for the entire stream. Switch places is only for 30 minutes. So there is two versions of that. So the other one I think is only 5K for 30 minutes. But yeah, so she negotiated her way out. So essentially what she found out now is that she's going to have some downtime because he seems to have gone off and decided to do other things, which she doesn't really know what yet, but she has some time to breathe, find out what her next moves are before potentially having that clash. However, in light of your question, Soul, what's actually happening in the background is she had convinced him to go after one of the other thieving guilds who's known for collecting items. Now, he had been on her trail for about 5 years due to a lot of very specific pieces of information, but she was able to point out not necessarily flaws in that logic, but he was trying to pinpoint her at various key specific locations that would indicate she knew where the key was. She was able to point out that in each and every one of those situations, there was also a representative of the other guild there, just so, and she was able to get it out of him that those instances were all unexpected on his part. So by being able to extract out of him that he had noticed and wasn't expecting their presence, she tried to shift the blame off to them and say, well, isn't it more likely that they have it? And are you really going to blow all of your resources here now and be wrong and not have enough to go after them if you're right? Whereas, are you more likely to go after them with all your forces, and if you're wrong, still have enough to come after me? Because she had a big army behind her at the time. So essentially, it was like, hey, there's more. Like, I really think that, you should think over here. But what's more likely to happen? If you're wrong, which direction is worse? Fighting me first or fighting them first? So that convinced him to basically go after the other, the main guild. So he went after that. And within a couple days, as he was planning and about to do his maiden siege, he was stopped by a god. Now, this is kind of unorthodox because gods aren't supposed to have direct interference, but it was done in such a way that, he didn't do anything other than have a conversation with him. Of course, basically found him in an opportunity to have a conversation like gods do and offered him something. Basically, this god also wants into the vault. This god wants something very, very specific in the vault that nobody actually knows is in the vault. He had arranged for it to be in the vault as a decoy, but now he wants it back. So he is making a deal with the necromancer in order to partner up and get him the powers and skill sets he needs in order to go back and go back. Neither of them know where the key is, but the point is he's asking for a delay because he'll give him what he needs to get into the vault, and all he's asking for in return is for him to get the one item. He can have everything else in the vault, but the god gets the one item. So he's taking the god up on that, and they're off gallivanting and learning powers in order to eventually overtake and open the vault and then overtake the forces that are part of it. Which is funny because, go circle back, Kage and Vixie both have a different campaign that they are both running as a duo. And the funny part is the god that's down here currently helping this necromancer is related to their campaign as one of the main gods of their other campaign. And they are currently in a process, I think I've talked to you about this with the old gods campaign before. They're in the process of unlocking a big secret that a lot of gods have been locked away, and there's a big secret suppressing all of their names and all of their stories, and they've all basically been replaced by these other gods. And that's who we're dealing with. So the funny part is that crossover wasn't supposed to happen. The story, the background was all there, but the god that came down to help the necromancer, I never planned for that to happen. That was Vixie's fault, because she specifically wanted to know and actually asked if people could reach out to anybody's help, and that god's name was brought up in passing, and she specifically requested someone go and reach out to them, let them know what's happening, and if they would be willing to help. Little did she know that that god happened to be the one who orchestrated it the last time. So no one knows that. But basically, two specific gods were reached out to, their siblings. And one said, nah, didn't even respond. Just said, fuck that, I'm not touching that. And the other one, of course, is now the one helping the necromancer. So the good guys basically called out to this god and said, hey, can you help us? And he's like, I'll see what I can do. And now he's directly helping the necromancer open up the vault so he can get in. That's the twist that's happening there. So what's funny is the Old Gods campaign is currently trying to unravel this mystery, and they're trying to unlock the gods and release the Old Gods and bring and restore order. And they're currently on a 3-quest phase. They're on quest 2, but they have a 3-part quest that they have to do this. Now, the first quest, well, technically all 3 quests are basically unlocking the various, or releasing the various sibling gods, so then they can all unlock their father, which will then cascade into them taking back over, right? But you got to unlock them one by one. So they've gotten one, they're about to go get the other. Now the one at the third is going to be the interesting one, because the third has actually its own set of 3 trials, and it's basically it can end with trial by combat or trial by valor. So you can either do the 3 combat, or you can do the 3 trials and earn it, or you can just fight him, try to kill him, and then take it. So here's the funny thing. The last of the trials is the second god that got contacted, the second sibling on the evil side. And he's the one that said, nah, I'm not doing that. Even though his brother was like, we have to, like this is important. Because they're the only two that know what's going on with the ball. So one said, I'm staying behind, not doing my thing. The other one's down there dealing with the necromancer. So the funny part is now that they're involved, which they were never supposed to be, that trial, the trial of Trinity was supposed to happen. They were supposed to either trial by valor or trial by combat. Once they get to that third trial, as pissed off as that god's going to be to do it, he's basically already going to give up. And I don't mean like give up as in like just like surrender, but essentially, yeah, he is going to like not surrender as in like just like, okay, you know, you can kill me. But when they finally get there, to his displeasure, he is basically going to accept the fact that what his brother is doing can't be done, can't happen because it's too risky. So he's actually going to give up his item and give them the and give them what is needed to unlock the other sibling on the good side, the sibling god. He's basically going to be like, look, I would love nothing more than challenge you, to watch you fail and to send you to the afterlife, but you know, I just wanted to chill and rule, but my brother's going to mess it all up. Like, and honestly, if it's going to be undone, if all of this is going to be undone, then at least let it, not let it be by his hand, not let it be by his stupidity. Plus, he's also doing this as a, by the way, when everything does get undone, at least remember this was my fault. Kind of like a, look, I'm going to sacrifice myself now and sacrifice all my power, but hey, maybe this won't, lead to me being executed for my part and everything. Is kind of his mentality. So they don't know that yet, but yeah, they've been planning to do all of these trials, and the third one has now basically been solved for them because Vixie's other character's actions have drawn in the gods from that other campaign that are now involved, which has now made a divide between those two gods. So now one's going to help their characters because they want to stop their brother. And again, these are two different campaigns. Like, they're in the same universe and everything. That's why the gods exist. But they're in separate locations. They're separate characters. They were never supposed to touch. But because Vixie can't help herself, she ended up looping them all in. And now both of her campaigns have a convergence point. And I have to juggle all of that, right? It was nice to actually have them separate. And now they're not. Now I have nothing. Now I have to make everything make sense. And it sucks when they're not all on the same timeline. Like it's difficult when they don't all play at regular intervals. So I have to keep the progress somewhat in line. But yeah, so basically, Necromancer's working with a god whose brother is going to work with their other characters in order to stop the god working with the Necromancer, who's after Vixie's first character. So yeah, Vixie's first character and Vixie's like fifth character are now involved. All because she decided to get these gods involved. Phenomenal, right? Like, isn't that absolutely wonderful that I have to keep all of that in track? But it's fun. It's like it's what I like to do. And honestly, that's, I think, a key to the way that I DM and the way that I build out my campaigns, is that I don't plan like that. I don't know every combat they're going to have. I don't know the outcome of everything that's going to happen, because that's the way that I like to play, right? Like, I knew this Necromancer was basically going to try to convince her or fight her. Like, that was his mentality walking into this. There wasn't going to be another option. But she found another one. Through a series of conversations, logic, and roles, she found another way. And to me, having to figure out what's going on because of those decisions is my game. That's how me as a DM, that's how I get to play. Because if, as a player, you have to figure out what I, as the DM, am deciding, what kind of, puzzles I'm giving you, riddles, what kind of combat you have to face. But in reverse, that's what I have to deal with my players, right? I can memorize what all my players can do mechanically, but how they answer the questions, how they influence NPCs, how the outcome of certain situations happen based on what they do is more important, because you get those nuanced situations where I wasn't planning on being able to have him be negotiated out. I was never planning those gods to get involved, but her decisions forced my hand, and it was like, okay, well, if he's going to get involved, this is going to be his response because of what's happening in that other campaign. Like, to me, it's not fair to my players for none of that to make sense, right? Or for none of that to matter. If she would have called that god and I would have been like, yeah, he'll do that in this campaign, but in the other campaign, he's going to act like it never happened. Why would I do that? I feel like that's a disservice to the whole point of how I built High Point and how I like build up how my players expect the game to work. So that's where my fun of the game comes in, is because now I have to figure out how to make all of that make sense. And I have now all of those NPCs that I have to like jumble together and figure out who's doing what and why. And again, for me, that's the level of gameplay I want. I don't want this session by session from a DM. I want I didn't expect a player to do that or say that. Okay, what does that mean? That's where I really enjoy my points. So, good question. That's the sneak peek at what's happening in High Point. Kage gets to go back to his day-to-day life after so many years, and there's a necromancer learning secrets from a god who's tying in 2 different campaigns. So that's what's happening there. What else happened in chat? Did your first Strixhaven? Okay, not bad. You had a elf warlock. Actually, I went through a random portal, ended up on the roof. Thankfully, your patron, your Raven Queen, heard the call and helped me down the cost of a silver coin. You know, the imagery of that is basically just like, you basically just asked a god to play firefighter for their little cat, and that's absolutely hilarious. It's just I got stuck up in a tree. Can you help me? See, what's really funny is if you play like an evil god, the evil god would convince the follower to just jump and not to worry about it. Then they let them die from the fall, experience all the pain of death, and then you bring them back, and then you go, don't do that again. And then you leave. See, that's those fun little ways to play a really evil god, is to always mess with your character's head and never let them know what's happening. If you don't have real fun with it, you just let them believe in you and be like, don't worry, just step off the roof, you'll be fine. And then as you step off, you have the effects of featherfall until you're pointed head down, and then featherfall ends, and then you get brought back, and then they tell you. That's a nice little touch. A little bit morbid, but evil gods are evil gods. You gotta have a little bit of fun with them. Oh, what else? Super Fox with a 7 streak. Awesome. Fantastic news. Would have used your first short rest, Misty Step, but it was 80 feet. Misty Step was only 30. And you'd also used a prayer. Yeah. Because Misty Step, I don't know if Misty Step is considered one of those things that keeps your momentum. So technically, yes, you were 80 feet up, but you could have removed 30 feet, so you could have made it 50 and maybe taken less damage. But depending upon how you feel Misty Step works with momentum, who says you couldn't have been 30 feet off the ground, Misty Stepped to the ground, and negated all your damage? So, things to think about. These are the things that I ponder. We should probably change the name, because I don't think Pokeniner is going to show up. I haven't heard anything in Discord pop up. Yeah, I'm really curious how your how the DM would feel about that. Or how about this? Throw this at them, right? So if they say no, that wouldn't work, Misty Step doesn't stop your momentum, then you throw it at them, go, oh, it doesn't, does it? And then they're like, oh, what are you thinking? Well, it's like, well, if it doesn't hurt my momentum, then why not right before I hit the ground, I Misty Step 10 feet upward. So as I'm going out at terminal velocity, I Misty Step like this, and now I'm going like that, and then I can loop back down, right? So it's like if you're falling like this, and then you go Misty Step this way, and then you land on your feet. Because if it does retain momentum, you can just change the angle with your Misty Step that the momentum is targeted at. So instead of it being targeted straight down, you can do it up at an angle, and then lob yourself with that momentum to a point to where you can safely. So consider that with Misty Step. If it doesn't, then it's basically a free feather fall. If it does, work with your DM on thinking like portals. Yes, I like thinking with portals, but the Uno Reverso of gravity is fine. Uno Reverso Gravito. There you go. That's the name of the spell. All right. Well, I really do feel bad doing a review by myself with only like 2 of you watching, and one of you isn't the author. Like, I do kind of feel bad about it. But I will be honest, I got nothing else. Kind of one of those things, only being a part-time streamer. It's like, yeah, I'm consistent every single week, but I feel like it's not enough. Never. But the Sabers are coming. The Sabers, I don't know any of the subs out there. I did post a sneak peek of my Vortex lightsaber handle. It is in the works. It is definitely looking close to what I wanted. It's gonna take a little bit more. I have not bought the pieces for the MGS saber just yet. I am waiting to get my saber more dialed in to figure out the mechanics and understand what I need, so then I can go back and buy the materials for the more complicated saber for you guys. Still don't know if it's going to be this weekend or next weekend, this coming weekend or next weekend that we do it. Probably next weekend, now that I know how much more time I need. But it'll depend on how the rest of the garden goes. Because if I can get the garden done this week, I might get all of the parts this weekend. If not, I have to wait till next week to get the parts, so we'll have to push it off. But yeah, y'all's saber, I don't know how much of a sneak peek or how much you want to know outside of what the rules are, but y'all, the lore that I have in my head for the saber, and if I can make it look at all the way I want to, this is going to be dope. It's going to be such a cool idea. I am shooting for the moon, and then I'm going to gear back, curtail back based on hardware limitations. But I am shooting for the moon for the MGS saber, and I'm even more excited because just of one of the parts of my saber that I made is just so it just worked out exactly the way I wanted it to, in a way that I didn't think was, like, I knew it was possible, but it worked out in just a way that I didn't expect it to. So I'm now more excited and confident of building the MGS saber, even with the complicated mechanic that I but it's going to come with a whole lore to explain why it looks the way it does, why it operates the way it does. And yeah, it's going to have a whole backstory. It's going to have a whole lore. Now, whether or not you want that lore to be your own, or if you want that lore to be kind of like, if you own Luke Skywalker's replica saber, so you own his and his lore. I don't know if you want it to be, this is just the the Misfit saber, or whatever, and that was just theirs, or if you want to take the lore on as kind of like your own persona. But I think the lore is fucking dope, and I'm excited to see it in action once the whole thing is put together. I'm really excited to see mine when it's finally put together. Mine's in 3 major pieces, and I have a ways to go to make it exactly the way I want, but I've got some cool ideas. I just have no time. Trying to get it all done in 2 weeks with the level of detail I want. Like, I could have been done by now if I just, because it's so funny. I looked at a bunch of pictures of Home Depot builds online, And there are just so many that just look like pipes with thread around them. And then there are others that look absolutely amazing, but the vast majority of them all look like your standard saber. Like, yes, they look like lightsabers, but I mean, they all look like not the same, but they all just look like your standard lightsaber. Like they all just would, be on set. I kind of wanted mine to truly feel unique and my own. So yeah, we're gonna see how well I can do with the other two, or with the other one. I don't know about Kage. Kage has some really fancy ideas, and I'm really excited to see how much he can pull off. Trying, because he wants to go with more of a katana look, so that's gonna be very interesting. But I'm glad you're excited for the saber. So I am very, very excited for the sabers. Actually, hang on a second. Where am I? All right, I'm back. Hang on. Check it out. Y'all still with me? There is a way. There we go. Check this out. Hang on a second. Let me I'm just gonna change this. We're just gonna do an AMA because that's what we're doing right now. So how do I do? Can I just do that? I can't start an already stream, but how do I do that? Sweet, do it. So I really want to know what you roll, even if you don't decide really to use it. There used to be a way that I would be able to take over stream from my tablet. Okay, hang on. I think I need to go to here. Let's see if I can do this right. Settings, stream. Disconnect connection. Yeah, okay. I thought there used to be a very easy way where I was able to like be streaming here and then just pop it over to my tablet so I could walk around and then pop right back. I could have sworn there was like a takeover. Maybe I was wrong. Yeah, I guess I can't. I don't know why I thought I could. For some reason, I swear there used to be an option, or I saw something that said I was going to be able to do that. And so you also don't have to roll on the tables like we didn't. We didn't roll at all. We chose from the tables, but at least it's a good spread for each of the categories, right? What does it say? I'm trying to figure out how to get this stream thing to work. So it's a paid process. Gotcha. Okay, so I can't unless I just turn it into a song. Then you won't really get like the audio. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of funny that it put that in there, because that's exactly part of the reason why the build that I have is going to be so great, is because it is a mix and match of Sith and Jedi for the MGS build. But that's why I do like those roll tables. I was very impressed with them. Definitely something better than I could have ever I could have put together. But also, I have no actual like deep knowledge of the fandom, so I don't know how accurate any of that is. But it sounds good, so I'm gonna roll with it for this particular project, because I literally don't have the time for anything else, and I'm just building off of. I mean, again, I'm not gonna build it perfectly. I'm gonna build it based off of vibes, as close to those descriptions as possible. Oh yeah, the fact that it literally is a Sith carrying a Jedi temple guardian, Sith themed temple guardian. Yeah. I am curious what you get there. Are you gonna roll or are you gonna choose? I'm really curious how you think that's gonna happen. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm really psyched to see what you roll. I'm curious if you're actually going to try and build it. I built mine for about $100. I know that's way more expensive than the $40 Home Depot saber that everyone else built, but I'm into detail. I'm into detail with mine, so. But you could easily make it for $40. Like if you just want to make a very bare minimum basic outside piece, yeah. But if you want any of those flourishes and details, it could get up to $100, depending on like how crazy you want was hoping to get on the camera here. I mean, there you go. Roll away. There's a ton of them, and there's also a bunch of extra optional ones. We decided not to do any of the optional ones because they were all lore specific, and none of them were really like, unless you're into electronics and you really wanted to like make one of those like actual working sabers, most of the other tables won't matter or even come into play. That's why we specifically said 1 through 16 and 21, because those ones directly relate to how you can make it look. Everything else is vibes and story. I'll go see if I can bring it in. I just don't want to. That's why I just didn't want to leave. Like, let's see. That one? Maybe that one. Hey, there we go. All right. Yeah, I would not suggest doing more than that, just because of the yeah, mainly just because of the unnecessariness of it. All right, cool. I actually don't know. Will this actually pick up as a third mic? I think so. Maybe? No? I don't think so. No, none of these are spiked. I was really hoping that this would give me sound. Gray and a line, perfect. All right, you know what? Second option. The second option is going to be an alternative microphone, yet another one. Is it going to register? I don't think it's going to register. That's plugged in. All right, fine. You won't get voice or audio while I'm gone, but I will be back. And we'll finish this out. Oh, yeah, look at that. hopefully y'all got to see it. But that was a saber. Galactic Civil War, nice. Hopefully you post all of that in the Discord, get other people hyped on rolling their own. Alright, well, I guess we're not going on TikTok because we got nothing to say today. So, goodbye. Yeah, bud. Yeah, you got FedLight though. You don't have to have it right now. Hey, say hi to everybody. You want to be a brat? You want to be just a brat. You don't want to come say hi. You just want food. Let me go. I want food. Let me go. I want food. This. Hey, up here. Yeah, hi. You want to look over here? No. Want to be a brat? You just want to show everyone your tail? Goodbye. Streaming's hard sometimes. Like, it's so funny. It's funny how easy it's gotten to do. Like, just how much of the routine, how easy it is Monday, Friday, how easy it is to talk, how easy it is to just get on stream. I know there's so many things that are so easy now, and yet, like, it's not. It's okay. Let me put it that way, or let me put it a different way. Streaming's incredibly easy over time. Even streaming well can be pretty easy. Being popular is difficult. Being popular is extreme. But the downside, well, upside, downside, both sides of the coin, is that at the end of the day, a lot of it is really just luck. Because if we were put in front of enough people, we'd easily have a regular, brain, catch up to yourself. If enough people saw us, it's feasible that we could have 100 regular followers, like 100 regular viewers. Now, what the number would be of people, the amount of people that would have to see us in order to reach that, is debatable, up for discussion, and absolutely variable on every streamer. But that is the game, right? Is do it long enough to get in front of enough people to claw out all of the people that like you. But that's really like the biggest struggle, is how do you get in front of the most people that are gonna end up liking your content? And it's all random, all fucking random. But consistency helps. I just wish I had backup ideas. Like, that's the only downside. It's like, we're so locked in with review. I'm just, not that I'm not confident with gaming, it's just I don't feel like I am a good game streamer. I just don't think that I am that entertaining when I play games. So I don't feel confident as a backup. I think I talk about D&D very well. I don't ramble very well. Like, I tangent, you know, when I'm inspired by an idea. But just sitting here and talking to myself about nothing is still I have a struggle with, even after all these years. But a lot of that's probably because I have Kage here to bounce ideas off of, talk when I'm not thinking, or when I'm not talking. Yeah, it's one of those. It would be nice to have some things I would know would be popular to just fall back on. If, for instance, like today, where we just don't have the author, we didn't have enough people to justify doing a full review. But what do I do in the meantime, right? Like, there's not enough of you to do marbles on stream, you know, effectively. I could just play video games, but part of my mind is like, well, if I'm going to sit here and play video games to no audience, why don't I just end the stream and go work on something at the house? I know that's not really, like, you know, the mindset. Like, it doesn't have to be profitable. It's the whole point is, you know, show up, be consistent. But hard to be consistent when I don't have that constant back and forth like I do when Kage is here. Because at least he'll always have an idea, he'll always have something to say, a way to keep the conversation going. OSR's going great though. OSR's going great. Got my own lightsaber coming. Nice. I really got nothing right now. Got nothing. Is there even a game I could play right now that would be entertaining for anybody? I got 2 new games, but I haven't decided if they're going to be good stream games yet. I tried out the store parkour game to see if that was any good. And I have a new game called Inkshade, which is very interesting. Just received table 7 for the handheld grip. You're rolling now. Ooh, nice. Anything exciting so far? Like, you know, other than, you know, you got your gray aligned in your, you know, same era, but like anything standing out, or just kind of your run-of-the-mill saber so far? Alright, well, we got nothing else. I'm play a couple rounds of Mega Bog and then I call it. Blade configuration: exotic light whip, lightsaber pike, or something truly unique. Nice. So I did actually have an idea for the light whip that would actually make it super easy to do. Is if you make your handle hollow and you put a small battery pack inside, you can easily get one of those like 3 foot long or 1 meter long light ropes, you know, like the workshop light ropes that you're just supposed to like hang up over tables, like little desk lights. If you just get one of those and shove it into it with the battery pack and then affix it, you could essentially have a button that turns on a light. So light whips are possible. I did think about that if it popped up for the roll. I saw that as one of the options. And I was like, how am I going to make that work? All right, so what do I need here? I need the corrupted sword and the scythe, but I also haven't done all of those just yet. We finally got Birdo. Hold jump to float in the air. Also gain airborne damage per level. That's actually sick. You know, let's give him a try because I haven't run this time. Actually, let's find out what we are. Let's see. So I need slutty rockets. Or I could finish with Tournament Zone or Wisp. Let's do Slutty Rockets and Fox on Desert. Cool. Let's do this. All right. I need Slutty Rockets. Yeah, basically just Slutty Rockets. I need it. We got this. We should two of you bastards here? Any of this shit, damn it. I always end up not being there. Blast. Max HP by 0.5 per kill. Yeah, that's better. Great refreshes. Glad I did that. Ditches. Be helpful. Ooh, I do kind of like being able to get that. That's really nice though. It's too late. Slugger rockets, that's what I need. Ooh, I'm glad I got those, because I would have forgot. Kill me. It's gonna kill me right here. See if we get a better run this time. Wait on that magnet till I'm going. Yes. Look at that. Didn't have to waste that time stop. That'll be good. By the ghosts. Ooh, attack speed. No, I need the regen. I want the attack speed. 20 damage? I want the attack speed. Oh, bomb. Especially on bosses? Hell yeah. Ooh. Summon Dragonfire when hitting enemy's fire can now by burn. Fuck yeah. Evasion or damage. Let's do the evasion tone. Demonic. No, I want that. I'll be back for you. Good salesman. How much did I need for that? Oh, I got it. Boom. Take that, and I'll take my money back. Thank you. Good enough. There, all right, cool. Another salesman. Wow. Ooh, speed and damage up or damage. Let's do our base damage. Attack speed is always nice, but not if you're not doing enough damage. Ooh, damage. How about that? Don't mind if I do. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I need my thing back. I need my thing back. Okay, okay, we're doing way better than last time. Sweet. Man, I didn't even have that on me. Oh yeah, now we're doing great. We're doing this one. Let's do, oh, you know, let's get the slutty rockets. Get those so we can get more cheap. That does help with bounty. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I really need a katana at this point. I should have gotten HP regen. I didn't even see it. I was too fast. No, I should just go this way and then just go around. The buff was gonna be there, I would have saved it, but I didn't. count to everything? Hell yeah, let's go. No, I want the katana. Nah, I really want that katana. Ooh. Give it to me, give it to me. Slow rockets, give it to me, yeah! Here we are, fuck. Let's go. Nice. Such a satisfying pop with all the chimes. Ooh. Right in the center here. Here we go. Good test. How much damage do we do? Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're doing all right. Yeah. Good. Yeah, luck. Let's go. These 3, and I can go attack the 4. Wow. Size was very just share a few of them. I'm actually really curious, like, if you're going to be satisfied with it, or if after a couple days you might change your mind on anything. Or are you officially locked in? Or you just that's what you're going to go with? And let me know when you post them in the Discord. I'll take a look at them either tonight or tomorrow. Everything I needed. It may just be too big. I know, like, if you do all, depending on how you copied the roles, that you might have to post it to two chats. Fuck. Kill these bosses. Kill these motherfucking bosses. Kill these motherfucking bosses. More damage in the air! More damage in the air! Kill him! Kill him! Yeah! once they start moving, you gotta leave. All right. Nice. I will take a look at that. See how long I can keep it up. Damage to elites or power multiplier. What's that damage to elites? Elites and bosses. Salesman! Oh no, boss. Fine. Fuck it, boss. I was like, where's the second one? I know I heard two. Probably shouldn't have done that, but too late now. Damage, times 2 damage. All right, melting them pretty good. Two of them, that wasn't that bad. Scorpions are going to be a lot harder. I did not have the map explorer. Something hiding around. I gotta hurry up. Fire spots blast. Bounces the last further. That's nice. I don't really need pickup range. We'll take more shield though. Damage to elites. Oh. No. 25% more damage? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Luck, damage, or speed. Overall damage. Let's go. Let's go evasion. Katana. Katana. Damage. Crazy upgrades that we're getting. Down there. We've got to hurry up. We're about to get hit by the boss. Size, there we go. We pop in here. Oh, hell yeah, let's go. What we need, this is what we need. Do another one. Yes. Only two. Okay, that's fine. Placed. Survive longer. Let's see how we look. We're looking fantastic. We have 5 more shrines in 3 minutes. All gonna be in the middle. Shit, didn't projectile count. Whatever. Ooh. Asian. Okay, why not? Checked out. Last one before the boss. Be able to survive this. It's gonna be a great way to pick up that magnet. Great time to pick that up. One more. Really? Where is it? Right here? Oh shit! Oh damn, look at how, oh, look at that melting. Look at me just melt them. Oh. All right, now we're good. Let's go. Let's go take care of that boss.
That's a lot of damage.
That was definitely a lot of damage. More damage. We'll get there eventually. boy. Look at how bad this is. Ooh, damage, more damage. No! Your bullshit that you can just fucking target me is bullshit. Oh, game over. Fuck you, bitches. The worst thing you could have dropped right there. Oh boy. Here we go. Now it's just stay alive, y'all. How long am I gonna last? I can usually get to like 1.5 hard, but that's about it. Maybe I've gotten to ×3 before, but I don't know. Keeping these guys at bay is basically impossible. Last a while, who knows? I just gotta stay flying. Come on, flight tech, don't fail me now! This is where I'm the most powerful! Holy shit! Almost 5 times? I'm just ping pong at this point. Woo! I'm not even playing the game anymore. I honestly don't know if I'm even controlling anything or... Yes, blow me into the air so much that I will never land. And I will have all of the damage and all of the lifesteal. Oh! I don't know why I'm touching the buttons so much. More lifesteal means more time alive. The one thing I can't do is sit still though. Like this. Oh god, oh god. Bullshit. I gotta get out of this fucking corner. This is some bullshit. Gotta get moving again. Come on. Come on, game. Come on, game. You're telling me. Game's like, no, dude, you're done. You're done. Stop it. You beat the game. Wait, didn't I, Did I not get the unlocks? Hold up. Oh, I was supposed to be Tony Bethune. My bad. But wait a second. You're telling me, man, we did not kill that many people with slutty rockets? And we still need 300. Golly. All right, well, that was fun. Let me go take a look at Discord right quick. Let me see what you rolled here. We'll call it a night. Let's see. So, Gray Alliance Galactic Civil War. Your combat role is Guardian, Frontline Warrior, Power Strike, Sturdy Build, Heavy Pummel, Two-Handed Capable. Nice. All right, and it's two-handed versatile. Nice, love that. One or two-handed, that's gonna be perfect. Exotic lightsaber pike. Nice. I'm curious what you're gonna choose on exactly how that's gonna roll out. Let's see, what else do we got here? The pommel is a nested cone, layered shroud. Nice. Dual texture. You rolled twice for the handle and grip, bone and ivory, and a Cortis weave. Corotis weave. Interesting. A Beskar-clad Mandalorian hilt. Surprise, you rolled that. Ooh, a trident emitter. A three-pronged emitter. Crossguard adjacent, but decorative only. Fascinating. That could be kind of fun. A thumb button. Recessed. Standard push. Nice. Very simple. The switch. Oh, the button placement along the back of the hilt away from the fingers. Interesting. Okay. Where would that go? Okay. Accessories and details. You get a second crystal chamber. Visible crystal mount for dual phase or color change. I like that. That makes sense for the gray. Wherever you are, you always look like you belong. Clan order insignia engraved. Oh, I'd love to see if you get a drum kit and do that. A waterproofing seal. Visible O-rings designed for aquatic combat. That's interesting. Condition is worn. I mean, very good. Everyone wants a good worn lightsaber. The tech level is archaic, self-contained but crude, heavy, unreliable. Cast iron pipe and basic wire. It is very colorful though. Exotically painted, anodized, or wrapped in colorful materials. Wire wrap is super cheap at most hobby stores, and you can get some colorful wire wrap. That would be great for a handle. The primary hilt metal is going to be gunmetal, and the hilt length is a standard 24 to 28 centimeters. That's going to be fantastic. Dude, that's amazing that you got the trident and aquatic capabilities. That's going to be so cool. I'm really, if you draw it out or do anything, I'm really curious what you think. I think mine came out pretty close to my design. I think mine conceptually is going to come out pretty good. All right, y'all. But I think that's going to be good for us today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the questions. I do appreciate it. If you guys have any more, write them down. Make sure you bring them because I'm always here for questions. You know me. I love talking about High Point D&D, and I can't ever stop unless you stop asking me questions. I have to say. But I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. We'll be back, or I will be back on Friday, but Kage will not be back until next week. We will either do this Sunday or the following week. We will do the birthday stream where we put the sabers together and do the giveaway. So keep subscribed, followed, keep in touch for all of that. I'm very pleased with your rolls too. It sounds like it'll have a lot of fun. Yeah, let me know if you end up trying to build it from hardware parts or whatnot. But there's also a couple websites. If you want like a real saber, there are a couple websites that you can buy all the individual parts to a saber, to like a real like a prop saber, and put it together yourself. And you can get all of like the lore accurate pieces. They're just super expensive, so consider that. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go eat something, go hang out. I'm running solo all week, so I'm gonna go try to enjoy myself. But you know, without my wife, it's gonna be kind of boring. So yeah, wish me luck. Anyway, have a great night. I'll see you all on Friday. Cheers. Deuces, my friend.